What's up, everybody, and welcome to the House of Holocrons, episode 57. As you may notice, we have a guest today because of all the most amazing and stellar things. We've received a trailer finally in 2024. Yay! Bad Batch Season 3, the finale! So we had to bring back one of the all-time biggest batchers that has ever batted. LothalYungling.
Hello. Thank you. I basically kind of Kool-Aid manned my way into this. Like, I need to talk about this with somebody.
Right. And I expect her TikTok to be Kool-Aiding all over. She's going to just constantly go to town on this Bad Batch.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back from my hibernation and from depression. So, yes, y'all are going to be sick of me. It's going to be great. And I'm really excited.
It's fitting because the last time we had you on was about Bad Batch.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the time for that was about
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
This is the Bad Batch expert.
Sadly, it's the last season, so if you want to come back, we'll
find another thing. Don't worry. We're going to sneak Hunter into random other shows just so we can bring Young on and talk about it.
I would be all for it if Hunter appears.
Okay. Speaking of that.
If you can't tell, you can't tell.
I was going to say, I fucking love that that helmet. But if you... I'm sure you guys have already seen this meme. So I follow somebody on Instagram who collects all of the Star Wars memes and reposts them. And this one was a photo of the final season poster next to Hardcase's helmet in front of his grave. And they're both angled, positioned the exact same motherfucking way. And
no.
And I'm like, thanks, I fucking hate it here. But there's a juxtaposition between Hardcase's helmet in the snow, and on this poster, there are embers.
Yeah.
Are the boys gonna get blown up?
So I think...
I'm scared. I am so scared.
So there's a perfect place to kind of start the predictions for Season 3. Are they gonna make it? I would love to say yes. It would be the most yay. But... I don't think they wouldn't join the rebellion.
I mean,
it's also Star Wars.
Yeah. It's weird because they've shown in the past that even though it's an animation, they're not afraid to end things with a quote unquote bang.
Drop the ball.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. No, you're good.
I know. So I have a theory. Bringing in Mother Asajj fucking Ventress. First of all, you guys have both read Dark Disciple, right? Or listened to it? I have. Finally?
I've read summaries. I haven't read it yet. Now I'm going to have to.
Yeah, you have to.
You will.
This is your assignment. I'm sorry. You have to either read it or listen to it.
Well, I went through a period where I stopped reading because I was big into Star Wars novels for a period, and I stopped. And then a lot of good ones came out that time. Especially since I used to be a pretty big fan of Quinlan, just because he's a different type of Jedi.
Yeah,
he's a fuckboy.
He's awesome, and I mean, we got to hear about him in Obi-Wan series, so it's he's alive and kicking. So I mean, is he gonna? It could maybe.
So this is where my semi-happy prediction for the boys, tying in Asajj, tying in Quinlan and their futures, and why we don't see them with the rebellion. So Quinlan was part of the Paths, right?
Mm-hmm.
Asajj, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to spoil this for you, but Asajj and Quinlan, they get together, basically.
Well, I already know what happens.
Okay, so they get together, and somehow, again, I don't know how they're not retconning this, that was a bad term. I don't know how they're going to
wiggling and moving,
this.
Yeah.
But also, it's when the last, epilogue of the book literally says, Ventress's body was buried in the lakes, in the
Dathomirian
cave, and then it just started glowing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Also, the Dathomirians are also very well known for resurrecting people. So something there has happened. Anyway, so Quinlan's part of the Path. Ventress is back. She meets the Bad Batch, almost kills them because it's Ventress. The boys join the Paths because Hunter, in Gunji's episode, it's these kids need to be able to be kids, and so he has such a connection to children and wanting to help, but not probably be part of the rebellion and part of war again, kind of like a Quinlan was. So they joined the Paths. And I actually had a thought about this last season when I was talking about that. Somehow, some way, the boys were involved with the Paths.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but they were part of it.
I like that. And especially Hunter, the way that they can all sense things, Wrecker's strength, Crosshair's ability to cover and stuff. That would make a really good sense for them to join the Path.
Well, So one thing that's, when we talking about, I was going over. They've done already stuff from Legends in this series itself. I mean, the mountain itself is
Mount
from
Antis.
Legends. And then, so Asajj actually goes through a similar thing in Legends. She dies differently, but it's close to the same situation. She comes back to life in Legends. I don't know if you're familiar with it. And how she comes back is she goes into, it's called a Sith healing trance. So she appears dead in the whole situation, really close to what's already happened. But slightly, she's more evil in that side. So I'm wondering if they're going to do something similar, but instead of like a Dathomirian healing trance.
Yeah, and it would make sense because she does
more for Dathomir.
And that's what I love, though, is even at the end of Dark Disciples, you never feel like Asajj is trying to, quote unquote, redeem herself. She's like, I did some stuff. I don't care. I'll do it again if I have to.
And this is just my ending.
This is just this was just that ending. But I love how in that little excerpt that they put out from Star Wars, they were like, apparently died. Like they specifically use the word apparently. So I'm like, no, I don't think this is a clone.
The Star Wars doc, I was funny because I was looking their actual profile on Asajj. They added one last sentence at the end. It says, "But that wasn't the end of her Asajj's story." I actually went to the Wayback Machine and seen when they added that sentence, and it was
very recently.
I don't know how well it was timed with the video, but it happened around the same time the video was posted. I couldn't find the exact times for both, but they definitely
she ain't dead.
Coordinated adding that one sentence to the StarWars.com website.
Yeah, this is not a flashback. She is back.
She is there because I like
the yellow saber with the curved hill.
That looked really cool. My friend was saying that someone was speculating that this was happening in tandem with the Dark Disciple. Like, no, it's not because Dooku's dead. She's like, oh, I actually haven't read it. I'm like, girl, you can't be throwing out these things,
right? Because Dark Disciples only Dark Disciples during the end of the Clone Wars, and this is way after.
It's based on the episode of the Clone Wars that wasn't aired.
Yes,
they scrapped this storyline. It was supposed to be like a 3-episode arc, and they scrapped it.
But
the crazy thing is,
she looks just like that Asajj we were gonna get. That was
Asajj. I posted the concept art on the Discord, and she has the same pauldron with the snake on it. She has the same haircut, and she has the same lightsaber she gets in Dark Disciple, which is based on the one she was going to have in the Clone Wars. So,
and if nothing else, I mean, this could be amazing. My wife came up with, what if Asajj trains Omega?
Again, oh my god.
Because Omega's always shown this like super aptitude to get into the other guys' heads around her, be like, you're feeling angry right now. So like, what if Asajj is just like, this little one has power, come with me.
or she's co-taught by her and Quinlan.
Oh man. And she's like, by helping the path, she just has 2 tutors with Quinlan and Asajj. That would be absolutely stellar.
I love that. I actually really love that.
Quinlan would be like, I'm going to teach you some Jedi aspects, but don't listen to everything I say because those guys obviously all died, so it didn't work out for them. And then Asajj was like, I killed many of them.
He did dabble on the dark side. So
that's the beauty of what I'm also seeing. This would work with even what we're getting with Rey's New Order and stuff. These kind of like Force users that are entirely like, no, sometimes you got to punch him in the face.
even when Quinlan was a Jedi, the stuff he would do was not very Jedi. He was not the cleanest Jedi.
Right.
Yeah, he did. They sent him on a lot of things that. I mean, one of the reasons he met her in the first place, he was sent to assassinate Count Dooku.
Yep.
Which is not a Jedi thing to do.
So yeah, it's gonna be absolutely stellar. I really do hope. I mean, if there's an episode, I don't even care if it's one of those scenes where all we see is like Asajj talking to someone, and then you just see like the brown tunic of what Quinlan would wear, and it's just like, that kind of like from the back shot. He doesn't have to say a word. I just want to like see them still together. But I could also see her being like, I'm gonna maybe go on and do my own thing.
Just drop the name in Obi-Wan and never show us him
ever. Like, right? We get the name from Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and they're just like, but don't worry about him. This would be a really good way to show it off. Another big one, though, as in a return and something spectacular. I think Tech might actually return in this one. what do you guys think of the theory of the new clone or the new trooper we saw in the all blacked out armor?
Oh, that's him. That's him. Okay, okay. I lost my
not technically a new trooper. We've seen.
Oh, is that the guy already? Is that the guy that was trying to kill the Pantoran?
Yeah, it's the same type of clone, which are the Clone X or the clone with no number that they're using as like deep cut assassins.
Okay.
So these are, it could, but I don't think it will be.
That's actually a good point. I had forgotten that.
The visor, they're fucking goggles. I'm sorry. No other visor looks like he looks like he should be out of Ant-Man, but the visor,
it's the same style as the other one.
Also, his freaking chicken legs show it off. That's the chicken legs. I'm sorry, the legs do not lie. That is tech. I don't give a fuck if anyone doesn't want. I don't want the Winter Soldier thing. It's done. Tech's thing. Also, with very specific language that has been used. So, D. Bradley Baker and Jennifer and Brad have all only ever said Tech's sacrifice, never Tech's death.
Yeah.
Tech's sacrifice. Like,
we didn't see him die on screen. We just saw him fall.
Exactly. Yeah. Hunter fell from that height. He survived.
It's gonna be really stellar. Now this whole trailer is just action packed. Like, this final season is gonna be nuts. Absolutely nuts. We have so many things to go on. You know, of course, we have like Sidious walking through a huge group of clone commandos with Scorch and 2 other grade ones out behind him. Now, I don't know if they're going to make those other 2 clone commandos also a part of Delta Squad. I think most of Delta Squad's gone by now and it's just Scorch left. But that's going to play probably a big role into what's going on. Like, they're sending commandos now after the boy. Like, that. Like, no, there's nothing else. It's just commandos. They have Omega.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you notice, those are the only clone Empire clones that we see outside of one of the Clone X's. Yeah. The rest are all stormtroopers. So we're no longer going to see the limited clones anymore. It's now straight. So you're gonna see too many of the. It's all gonna be blaster fire now. They're not gonna.
Yep, it's gonna be troop. It's all stormtroopers and clone commandos.
Well, yeah, because again, they're phasing them out after Palpatine played 4D chess, and that they thought they were doing the right thing and got the clones decommissioned and out everywhere. So kind of on that, okay, how's Wolf coming into all this? And then where the fuck is Cody?
So with the Cody thing, I feel like I could see Cody maybe helping rescue Wolf, because there's going to be a big rescue scene, of course, to get Crosshair and to get Omega out. It would also make sense, though, if Wolf had a bit more reprogramming as to why later on in Rebels he would rather call the Empire about the Jedi than allow them to just hide with him. Because he still has a little bit of that like Imperial reprogramming in him, and he's like, no, I don't want to get sent back. I don't want to go back into that knife. I'm just going to tell him there's a Jedi here.
I can see him actually being a reprogrammed clone, which breaks my heart even more. Also, I think that Crosshair and Omega get themselves out.
You think so? Okay.
Themselves out. Because someone, again, I'm unoriginal. All these things, all my theories are coming from memes that I see on Twitter that are specially curated from that Instagram account that I follow. But it's like a 2-second shot, but there's a downed ship that looks like an Imperial ship, and you see a figure walking away, which looks like Crosshair in his prison outfit. And then we also see that cut of Omega flying a ship and doing some. You can tell they're being pursued the way she's flying. She's also we're gonna see her do the tech turn, and I'm gonna lose my fucking shit with that. She's gonna use Tech's flag lessons, and I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Yeah, Crosshair looks beat up.
Oh my god,
man! I have a lot of sympathy. I like to think I'm pretty empathetic, but like, it's a cartoon character. You know, you look at him like, oh man, he looks sad. No, I like almost felt in my heart like, oh, that poor boy. What have they done to you? He looks defeated.
They told him he was expendable.
Yeah.
After the outpost, that's what changed him. And it's like,
yeah, he did not have a good look. Omega's going to be doing everything she can to still just like rescue them. I wonder if Omega's older sister is going to help them get out. Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on her, Mike? I'm curious what everyone thinks about Emery. I am in the group where I'm just like, I'm sorry, after the loss of Tech and then you dropping that bomb, I don't think it was as impactful as they wanted it to be.
I think they might win her on her side at the last second, but I honestly, So I think's going to happen is we're going to be focused so much on them escaping and all that stuff. I think she's going to be in there long enough because she has the cloner's outfit on.
Yeah.
That they're going to get what they need from her to finish the missing parts they need for Palpatine.
Right.
And so that, which probably they're going to drop later on, because there's definitely going to be some cloning answers, kind of fitting the puzzle between what we get in the cloning of Palpatine.
Yeah. I could even see what is the evil doctor's guy's name?
Hemlock.
Hemlock. I could see Hemlock literally like one day just being like, "Oh, this is my apprentice, Pershing."
Because all they need is they just need part of her DNA.
Yeah. Because there's something obviously super. Like, it wasn't just that Nala Se was like, "I want a daughter." I don't think that any Kaminoan ever thought like that.
The fact that we find out she has a sister.
Yeah.
So we already have a female clone. So something's got to be
ages quick.
Special about her as well, because even though she's supposedly an unaltered clone, there's got to be something unique that they need her that badly when they already have a female clone. So it's not that she's a female, it's just there's got to be something.
I think this goes into tying into Lord Gideon, Moff Gideon's thing about the Force sensitive clone, and I think that's where this ties back into everyone's thinking that Omega was somehow Force sensitive, and that's why she's so important to the thing. I think what they were testing with Emery was probably, could we make a female clone? I don't like why it had to be a girl. I don't know why, but
she had to be the first one for sure.
So it's like, I think Emery was definitely a test.
You're right.
She was a bad batcher.
Yeah, I just think that Omega's just that one big piece that they're really missing. Not the only piece. I think Grogu might be part of it as well.
Yeah.
Because the fact that they make a big deal about him with the cloning.
I could see that.
She for sure is like, they need part of her. And all that combinations of making, Palpatine.
Yeah, I'd feel like you need parts of Omega because she is a clone that might have some Force sensitivity, so that way you can get like how to start putting midichlorians in clones, and then you get Grogu because he's a powerhouse of midichlorians to just put more in.
So her presence might bring a Snoke clone, and then Grogu's the last bit that makes Palpatine, maybe.
And then we also hear, all the projects in Rogue One, Omega. So, yeah.
And because, that would make sense, too, that they had to have done something to where they kept the things on file. Because if they didn't get at least something important from her, there wouldn't be a file on her. Or at least, because they would just be like, MIA or something like that. But there's going to be a lot with this one that is going to have to revolve around Omega's going to finally realize, I think, why she exists. Like, literally, the whole reason she was made. The boys are going to have to make, like, some crazy decisions. And we know they're getting back together. There is the shot where we see Crosshair in Season 1 armor behind Hunter.
The boys kept it. They could have sold it. They could have sold it for scrap, but they kept it.
Yep. Because Hunter knew he was going to get his brother back. It's going to be amazing.
I can defend my boy.
Where do you think... Because they get the shots with Finnick and Cad Bane, where do you think those will come into play?
Because Finnick likes Omega, but she'll also just do a job.
I mean,
she doesn't
care. She also helped to capture her. She's a bounty hunter. She's wishy-washy, and we see the scene. It looks like they're both meeting, and so some people were talking about that they're meeting with Asajj because her bounty hunter background.
Yeah,
they're wondering if maybe Asajj is bringing them. Maybe hiring them to work with them to.
Oh, the Bad Batch hire Asajj, Cad. I could see them hire Cad Bane and Finnick specifically because they're like, where the hell did you take her? Yeah. Who did you give her to?
They don't have enough money to hire anybody. Let's be real here. I'm just like looking at the episode list.
Maybe he does.
If they're going to show up in episode 4, a different approach.
I could see that.
The one that stood out to me that I kind of wondering is the Harbinger. I wonder who they refer to as the Harbinger.
That's
because it's right before Identity Crisis and Point of No Return. Just
the bug. It's the Bug Man. It's Tech.
It's the Bug Man and the Harbinger.
It's Bug Man.
that could be your identity crisis part.
Yeah. I mean, and that would, because I feel like that would be the big thing too. If that is Tech, or if Tech is alive, I honestly though don't want them to reveal that it's him until for some reason Hunter just has this, like, they've killed the thing. This guy's trying to kill us. They kill him, and then the last time, like, Hunter just has a sneaky suspicion and takes the helmet off, and it was reprogrammed Tech. But like,
so you're saying that he dies a second time at the hands of his brothers?
Yes.
Out of here! Get the actual fuck out of here! No. Out.
If they what they did to Crosshair, they'll realize was not enough. If they get an alive Tech, they're going to reprogram him so hard. There's no saving that.
I still think because the fact that they were able to resist the chips, that reprogramming Tech would be like fully would be hard to do. I don't think they'll be able. I think he'll probably, if they do, it'll be kind of a back and forth situation.
I wouldn't.
Superior intellect.
I could see no doubt Hemlock going, remove his brain, put in a cyborg. He doesn't. He just wants. I feel like a lot of he wants the shell. He could care less. He's trying to, like, Hemlock is the kind of a villain who is not trying to just win. He wants to win by shattering his opposition. He wants them to come to him and be like, just take us in. I'm done. So he'd be like, oh.
We also will probably see him die because he doesn't continue.
Yeah, Hemlock's going to get it. Hemlock's going to get it.
It's so beautiful to see him die. Just like Rampart getting arrested and
right. Yeah, that was amazing. I don't want it to happen like a Phasma.
He's not in it.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen like Phasma, where they just fall into a burning pit. I want him to be on the ground, like bleeding out or like choked out. Like gone. Like, no, there's no coming back. There is a body. It's right there. It's not moving.
Out. Not on this.
I'm okay if Wrecker just with his bare hands, or if Hunter just slices him across the jugular. I'm okay with that.
Just go deep, dark, and crazy. Massage cuts him up.
Takes him out.
Well, I think the one that would probably take him out is Crosshair, since he's probably been torturing him.
Yeah,
I could see Crosshair because he has no filter. He will kill somebody. So I could see Crosshair doing it.
And Mike, weren't you saying that you think that they're going to escape pretty early on? Like that's not, like most of the series isn't going to be the escape.
Well, if you look at the footage, you see her bow a couple times,
True.
And then and I think the episode they're escaping is probably probably might be a combination of either 6 and 7 is them going after them, but I think, like you said, I think they'll try to extract them. Or infiltration, find out that they're not there, and then trying to get them out. So around 5, 6, or 7.
And I would like that too, because the rest of the story then can then focus on what's happening to like solve this problem and to keep them off their trail, to allow them a bit more freedom and a life. But I like the idea of Asajj working with Cad and Fennec, because again, bounty hunter background. But that is such a like. What is she doing there, though? That's one of my favorite aspects of that whole trailer. I'm just like, is she fighting the Bad Batch? Is she fighting Clone Commandos? Because she doesn't say exactly who she's talking to. She goes, I don't want to kill you, but you're making it really hard. She could just be talking to a bunch of Clone Commandos. She just knows, hey, you guys aren't even yourself. Like, I feel bad for you. I was a slave to my emotions once. You're a slave to your, like, programming. I feel sorry for all of you.
When they originally aired the stuff for the Clone Wars of her pauldron, which she keeps in this, for some reason they didn't add it in the artwork for the Dark Disciple, but she retains it. And specifically, they said in that symbol, the snake symbol, it has a double meaning. It's supposed to mean like something that appears evil, but actually is a good thing. So she appears like she's a bad guy, but she's actually a good person. And that was the double meaning. I don't remember the exact phrase. I'd have to relook it up. But it basically was a double meaning. She looks bad, but she's not.
If we want to talk about looking bad, in this series, can we just see Asajj in that dress from Dark Disciple, please? I just want to see her in that ballroom dress. God, there's no art of it. There's no art of it. Yeah, when they do the big thing at the end, they're at like a ball, and she's wearing a dress. And I just want to know what she looked like for reasons, okay?
Reasons, huh?
She can step on me. I don't care. She would.
I'm sure there's artwork of it somewhere.
Yeah, I gotta find something. But I like that they did like the subtle change was they did like different part in her hair. Instead of her hair going swoosh this way, it go swoosh this way. Well, but the lightsaber too. I know a lot of people are talking like because she has they're in like throwing around. There's a few different saber hilts she used after like within Dark Disciple and stuff. But seeing that like curve again, some people are like, "Oh, is that her old one?" I'm like, "No, her old ones were taken. Like she doesn't have her old ones anymore." But she could also just She was trained as a Jedi for a little bit. She just makes a new one.
Did they ever say how she found this particular crystal?
I can't remember off the top of my head. But
in the Clone Wars episode, she does have a curved hilt.
Yeah.
The animation, so it's just her style. She likes the curved hilts. I don't blame her.
When you've been trained by Dooku, who is literally one of the best duelists ever, why would you not use the tools you were given?
And I wonder, and my thought process too is because he's the one who kills her, and Dooku he kind of gets wishy-washy sometimes. And my thought process is I wonder if he didn't fully kill her. He leaves her just enough alive that, because maybe he was regretting it, because he kills her with Force Lightning.
Yeah.
Maybe he just didn't fully kill her, and maybe he did it, because I'd see why he'd regret it, because it's his apprentice.
Yeah. Well, and let alone all of that, I mean, with like what happens with Reva, we've proven now hate and anger in those moments can keep someone sustained through fatal wounds. And I'm sure she was not happy about like losing. She's like, "Oh, I got to save the man I get to save the man I love, but fuck this old white guy."
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think they're going to
in Clone Wars. She says she gets her yellow saber from the black market.
Mike, not Mark. Mike, what were you saying?
I was just saying the whole idea for coming back. I think they're going to pull some of that from Legends, where she goes into this healing trance.
Yeah, and which I mean. Even if I could see her, like, there could be a whole scene. We could get like a little flashback kind of thing where the flashback within her scene where it's like her in the waters and all of a sudden you hear Talzin speak to her from beyond the grave.
Oh God.
Your time is not now. You must continue. There is another that needs you, Marin. So she got her yellow saber on the black market. She says that in the Clone Wars during her bounty hunter time. Because in the Clone Wars, she has her yellow saber.
She does?
Yeah. At the very end, like, after she's like, because there's Ahsoka is accused of being a terrorist.
Yeah.
Barriss has her sabers.
Yeah.
Barriss is taken. The sabers are confiscated.
Yes.
Asajj then later says, "Hey, I got this off the black market."
She had a yellow saber during that
late arc, yeah.
God, I gotta go back and rewatch.
Right.
I mean, she could be lying.
Oh yeah, she could totally be lying. She's not against. She's just. I'm not gonna tell you. I went to Ilum and got another one. Shut up, okay? I found my crystal.
Huh. Yeah.
And maybe we could see like a little. I just love the moment, like, because what we saw with Dagan Gera in Survivor, where he had a yellow saber and it turned red as he was getting angry. Just like a moment where it starts to go a little yellow, and she's like, "No, I'm not going to do that again." Goes back to yellow. Instead of, like, starts turning orange to red, back to yellow. Yeah, no, I'm not going to go back to my old ways. But it's going to be stellar. I think, and I'll say Omega, the scenes we saw of her, she looks like she's seen some shit already. Like she's already seen some bad things in her imprisonment, and they've already
there's definitely been a time skip for sure.
There's been a bit of a time skip, and she is very almost ice in her veins in the few scenes that we do see her really doing something.
I'm excited for Hunter to enter his Joel era. Actually, one of my favorite fan artists did a picture where it was Hunter basically doing the Joel scene with the knife in the knee. I'm gonna try to find.
Oh yeah. Okay, awesome.
Oh good.
I never thought about comparing them to Joel.
But it works. No, but I would love if Omega is trained by Asajj, then she gets to become this amazing hunter, this amazing fighter who's saving all these other people. Oh yeah.
I need this so badly. It's here. I'll take a screenshot and send it in the chat. But awesome. I need this so badly. But this artist, she comes up with some pretty amazing concepts. She also has the Fenter ship, and I ship it so hard. Like, so good. It's not good. Anyway.
But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of really fun stuff. And again, we're still at Mount Tantus, so we're definitely still dealing with all the cloning and stuff. I do wonder what is going to happen through the most of that, because I feel like they're really still pushing for something big because of Mount Tantus. I mean, it's also Star Wars. They could literally have just mentioned it just to be like, there it is, yay. But I just, like you said, like, there's a early Snoke, there's a early something. Like, they're gonna send somebody after the batch that's either gonna push them so far that they then go, like, to the path, and they're like, oh, we're retiring, we're so done with all of this, we're going into the deepest, darkest shadows we can. Or the bad ending, where they all die. Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty cool if at the last episode they could do, or like after the credits, they show like just a quick glimpse at a cloning take, and you see Snoke.
Oh yeah,
cloning take.
I mean, he's got to come from somewhere.
They can't end it with Snoke. They cannot end this amazing series with a shot of Snoke. Also, what do you think they mean by the cavalry has arrived?
Well, so that's the very first line that the Bad Batch ever says.
Exactly. So like, what? It's
the cavalry, and that's the thing. What if the cavalry has arrived? Is like Quinlan and the Path show up, like, nah, bro, we're here to help. I mean, we could get all kinds of crazy stuff going on, but the cavalry has arrived. They say that showing up to help Rex and Anakin and Obi-Wan. So, like, is this going to be a switcheroo now, where all of a sudden everyone else is going to show up to help the batch?
Oh,
like everyone that they've met through their past that is now a part of this family of Bad Batch is gonna come in to help. Like the Ithorian from the Trandoshan assholes bar.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you think they're gonna deal with Sid in this? Because we saw neither hide nor hair of that motherfucking backstabber.
Yeah, I feel like.
How do you think she's gonna come into this story for this season?
I think she's gonna come in a body bag.
I think she's gonna be imprisoned. The Empire probably just gonna put her in jail.
They just don't care. It's like, yeah, you're still not a good person.
That's what they've done in the past with a lot of people.
Especially those who still forfeit information to them.
Well, she does stuff with Black Market under the table stuff. It wouldn't be the first time that they're like, yeah, thanks for helping us out. But
it'd be an easy write-off, too. Someone just mentioned Sid. Yeah, someone's just like, what happened to that Sid character? You know, Hunter, or like Wrecker just, she's in the clinker.
She's in that floating prison.
She's on Narcano 5.
She's drowning in the water right now.
She's one of the first people in. Someone lands on her.
They were all men, though. There were no women in Narcano.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they can tell since she's a Trandoshan.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is an ugly little thing.
Potentially. It's like,
They're real tough. They're great workers. There's gonna be so many fun things with this. I really do wholeheartedly believe, though, that it is going to be a good ending. I'm not gonna say, again, I don't want to say everyone's gonna live.
It's gonna be a Rogue One ending?
No, I don't think it's gonna be a Rogue One at all. I don't think we're gonna get a whole wipe. But I do foresee this being like, there is going to be loss. There's going to be some bad things. It's just like to really cement then the continuing story. Because if Omega lives through all of this, and I really think she will, like I have no doubt that Omega will definitely make it through all this with either Hunter, Wrecker, Cross. I mean, what if it's just Crosshair and Omega? They started out. Honestly, Crosshair hated Omega in the beginning, and all of a sudden he's the last one with her and takes up after Hunter. Hunter's like, pulls a Qui-Gon, please just watch Omega. That's my last dying wish. And he says, I will, brother. Don't worry.
I actually do think if I had to be anyone the death flag, it would be Hunter.
Yeah.
He's the leader of the squad. I know.
Yeah, I think they're gonna
so much guilt over losing Crosshair, not going after Crosshair, realizing they could have gone after Crosshair. Again, I have a whole motherfucking essay that I could say about this, but that'll take another hour of your guys' time. I'm not going to do that. But then losing Omega, losing Tech, just losing. He feels like he's failed his squad, and it's one of those like, you have always been my friend, live long and prosper moments where he sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
So if anyone of the batch is actually legitimately going to die, because we are getting Tech back, I don't even fuck with anyone. We're getting Tech back.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely do the Plan 99, but do it for
real
for Omega. I think they'll do it for Omega for sure. I think the whole batch will do it for Omega.
Yeah. But I could definitely see Crosshair being the one who has to pick up the mantle of Dad and stuff like that. But I would like for them to move on, for things to like kind of work out. But like, do you guys think that we're gonna get more Omega in the future, like an Omega series, or like? Because I don't think they should end animated Star Wars. Animated Star Wars delivers so many good things that don't, and it's cheaper. Like, just to think of it from a financial standpoint, it's just a little easier to make.
I would like to, but they haven't been, they've been random about what they continue, what they don't.
True. So.
If they do, I think it would be a series about the paths, especially with reintroducing Ventress, and all of us in our guts, like Quinlan Voss, or like, instead of, is that Saw Gerrera, is that Quinlan Voss? Him finally popping his head back in, and I can see Omega doing something like that.
Yeah. I would love an animated, just call it in just the path, and it's just literally Quinlan and Asajj and the remaining bits of Bad Batch saving Jedi.
Especially with Skeleton Crew coming out.
Yeah.
Especially with Skeleton Crew coming out. That could tie in with that.
Live action Omega?
I mean, they could easily tie it in with the Ahsoka season 2
if we get a live action Omega, it's going to be that forever. If we get live action Omega ever, they'll never go back to animated Omega probably, which I'm okay with. But it would be, I mean, that'd be crazy. Is Omega gonna meet Boba Fett? If all things do eventually end, please just give us that answer, Star Wars. If nothing else is gonna continue, if the Bad Batch is over, yeah, they joined the path, and we're not gonna talk about it though. We're not gonna go too deep into it because we don't know how many Jedi we would even want to save before people are like, "There's too many alive Jedi now." But did she meet her brother ever? The only other clone that didn't have the age acceleration and.
We get 2 of the bounty hunters. Maybe he's with them. We just didn't get him in the trailer.
Yeah,
because he was with Asajj for the longest time. She was part of his crew.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my God! What if Asajj puts 2 and 2 together? It's like, I know your brother. Is that how we're gonna get the Boba introduction?
That would be amazing. Asajj is the one who's like, I know your brother.
She's a clone. Like, it's not hard for her to put together.
She'd hear the accent and go, "You're one of the clones, huh?"
She'll make a comment.
Wow, you look a lot like Boba. Who?
Also, there was a meme where it's like, so Fee and Crosshair are going to meet. Like, how is this going to work out? Honestly, my headcanon is that, Crosshair finds out about Tech and Fee, and is like, of all of us, you went for Tech.
Oh, I feel like
all of us.
I feel like if anything else, Fee would, like, the first time they meet, Fee's gonna slap him and be like, "You know how much trouble you caused your brothers?" And he'd be like, "I'm sorry."
She does the whole Jane Foster and Loki thing and just decks him.
I really. Go ahead.
Oh, how do you think Crosshair's going to find out about Tech? Is it going to be from Hemlock or from Emery or Omega?
Ooh, I bet maybe that's why he looked so sad in the trailer. Maybe that was the news he had just received. Like, he was being walked back from the briefing room where Hemlock was like, "By the way, look what I found.
What I scraped off the rocks.
Your brother's dead because of you.
Yeah, they came to save you.
Your family came for you. They got your message."
Yep. They got your message. We got your message. And now we have you and him and her.
So he is alive, damn it.
And the rest of them are going to come back.
We don't need you anymore. We got your brother.
And he knows, like, Hemlock's not dumb enough to think that the rest of them aren't going to come back for Omega. And like, he knows. He's just going to be sitting there counting the days like, when is the batch going to show up and try to foil my plans? I'm so ready for this. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a very, like, hard push. It's going to push a lot of them to, like, their real, like, limit. I imagine Wrecker is going to have to, like, fight some, like, droid or something that, like, matches him in strength. Hunter is going to have to go up against, like, this Assassin X who has been drilled to almost be, like, a Hunter-esque kind of assassin. Whatever happens with all the cloning and all the commandos are just going to help deal with whatever shows up. They're going to need somebody to deal with a lot of those commandos. So I do see it being like hey, we need to, like, we're going to go grab Cad Bane and we're going to grab Ventress. We're going to go grab Finnick. Because we can't, Hunter, Omega, and Wrecker cannot take on an entire Imperial base. And it's going to end badly. There's going to be alarms. Like, it's not going to be a James Bond sneak in, sneak out mission successful. It's going to be a sneak in, things go horribly wrong, run out.
I mean, Fee does say, like, not a quiet exit or something like
that. Yeah, that for the very beginning where they're stealing a transport there. So I do wonder, maybe trying to get some clone commando armor to sneak in. Maybe then that's the scene, like that giant bit of all the clone commandos.
That's the only way you'll get Wrecker and another set of armor.
Right, and that's the secret of it. Is little do we know, like way back in that corner is Hunter and Wrecker dressed up as a commando trying to sneak in, and they're just like, "Oh God, it's Palpatine! Oh God, it's Palpatine! Oh God, it's Palpatine! Oh God, it's Palpatine!"
Another Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Situation with the coat.
Whoop, in the little trench coat.
the scene that everyone hated, but I thought was pretty on brand for Star Wars. Just goofy shit.
It's definitely it's a meme for sure.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
But it's not gonna be easy because if you listen to what Rex says in the trailer, the stuff he says, he's definitely at wit's end. Which probably shows this probably was where he kind of disappears because he goes in this kind of hiatus.
Well, because he's gonna have to get Gregor and Wolf out somehow to go be old men on that one planet. So that's definitely going to play a role in this.
About Cody.
Yeah.
Or, I think we're going to see Cody die.
Yeah, something's going to push him over the deep, and he's going because right now he's in this phase like I'm fighting against the Empire, but he doesn't after you don't see him again, so he definitely disappears for a while.
Do you think the Clone Rebellion's going to be a part of this, and that's also a thing that's going to really hurt Rex? Is we've lost so many of our brothers, we can't lose any more because literally the Clone Rebellion started, and most of them got killed.
This could be how that happens and why Rex leaves. See, this is the thing that it's driving me absolutely batshit crazy about this being only 3 seasons. I mean, I don't want it to end. I don't think anybody really wants it, but I understand things need to end. But I think 4 seasons would have been acceptable, and have season 3 be a bit more exposition. I know a lot of people would probably say that, there would have been too many quote-unquote filler episodes. Like, no, I love those really fun little adventure episodes, and Tech being a drag racer. That was the greatest thing in the world.
And that's what I don't want us to lose. Those fun little episodes.
There's going to be definitely a lot in this season. I don't think we're going to get too much of this kind of one-off adventures that we get from the Clone Wars. But
I'm just like, I don't
season
want
1
to rush the story. Especially, there's so many things I need to tie up. And with, again, now that they're adding, Again, I loved it. The monkey wrench, that is adventurous, but it's like you are adding a whole other level to this onion that no one was expecting. And now it's just like, how the fuck are you going to tie that in and wrap this up the way I think the story and all the stories within this need to be honored and done well?
I think
I'm very worried. So I think 4 seasons would have been acceptable. I would have been okay with 4 seasons.
I think the big wrap up is going to come from the cavalry has arrived. And I feel like it's going to be just like the original episode 1 for season 1, like an hour and a half. It's going to be like a movie.
Better as fuck be an hour and a half long.
We're 1 episode short, which I pointed out because every time was this 15 episodes. We've gotten
16.
We've gotten 16 originally.
Yeah.
So this is definitely got to be because even season 1 when it used to be at a long episode, that was still 16 episodes.
Right.
So we're an episode short, and the most action-packed season that we've ever, because there's like you said, we already had a lot going on, and then you throw in characters that are supposed to be dead, and then you even throw in Cad Bane, and it's like you keep throwing in big names. You can't just throw in these like major names and like they just kind of skip over it. It's gonna have a big impact, so there's gonna be a lot.
Okay, so prediction: Omega in the Mandoverse movie. Dave does love his characters.
I don't know.
The big thing will be, of course, once we can have a nice recap. Once this is all aired, we've seen the Bad Batch. We'll bring Young back on. We'll talk about the series that has unfolded, what we did see, and that'll be the real answer: is if it is going to ever move on with Omega's story, or if she's going to move on into other parts of Star Wars.
I think if they do want to, I think the best way to bring her back would be with Ahsoka season 2. I think dropping her in the movie might be a little too much for because there's a lot of people that didn't even watch. Because it's an animation, they want to watch live action. So
that would be a good way to bring more people to Bad Batch. Yeah, throw Omega into Ahsoka season 2. She's the one who helps get them off Peridia.
Or that she runs into Ezra.
Her and Asajj.
But it's like, I don't know. It's weird. She's definitely older because Boba Fett's pretty old, and she's only a couple years younger than Boba Fett, I think. So.
Yeah, she would be. Yeah, she'd be an old woman.
Yeah, at least middle-aged.
Unless you're like, she ages, she's got de-aging.
Yeah, she's actually got the de-aging, yeah. We see her, she's like 22. She's like, I wish I knew.
She didn't age at all.
Yeah. Well, if they do stay with...
It's just Tamora Morrison in a blonde wig.
If they do stick with the...
oh my god.
No, am I right? Maori, right?
That's
what
Maori
is. If they cast a Maori actress for Omega, Asian don't reason.
Yeah.
Adopt an Australian accent.
Pretty good for in their older ages.
Oh, it's gonna have to be like a New Zealander to get that good Omega accent.
It's definitely gonna have to. Like they have to be a Kiwi. They have to honor that. They can't make her white. If they make live action Omega white, hands will be thrown.
no one will approve of that. And I don't think Dave would ever be dumb enough.
Well, I mean, people are already upset that she was as white as she is in the animation. So.
Yeah.
And also Tech looking pretty fucking white.
They're also nerds though, so they're inside all the time.
Yeah, I think that was the idea probably.
I think that's what it really was. They're just pale.
Soldier.
Yeah, they're just pale as shit. You don't take that helmet off. It's bright out. I'm leaving my goggles on.
It's from all the screens he looks at.
You know what I need to see? I need to see Tech without his goggles and just a big old tan.
I guarantee it's happening. In the history of the match. Them off? I has to have.
Hemlock took them off his fucking face. Because again, why he had to have gotten the goggles.
Maybe Fee got him off.
Tech. Boy.
No, he probably doesn't take them off. He probably leaves them on.
Yeah, socks and the goggles.
Remember, he records everything.
I must improve my performance for later. Statistics.
In AO3, Tech keeps the goggles on. I'm just saying.
There we go. I like it.
Just saying.
No, I think, like you guys said, Asajj being this big monkey wrench is going to make this season, and like all these questions we've hyped up and really been like, what the hell is going on? It's gonna be crazy. Those first 3 episodes we're getting, I wouldn't be surprised if one of those is almost an hour. I mean, maybe not because they're giving us 3 at once, so why would one be an hour and then 2 other ones? But hey, I'm not gonna say no. Please do that. Make every episode 45 minutes. Let's go.
And 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. You keep them coming. I will take all of it.
If nothing else, though, I really hope we don't accidentally get like one of those mid-season episodes like sometimes happens where it's like, oh, this is a 20 minutes. What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I hate those. I feel cheated every time.
Every time. It's like, this is a real short one.
Riot.
Right. So I'm excited to see Dave getting back to, and everyone getting to retouch the Bad Batch, everyone getting to really go in and finish this story. Yeah, as far as we could of course easily have seen a 4th season. I kind of agree with like Chaco and a few a little bit more. I'm happy though that they were like, no, we want to write this story to conclusively have this ending so that it doesn't feel too. So there's never a moment where someone goes, why didn't it just end there? Now, of course, to the most of us, what those people say anyway. But
again, I'm okay. I understand it needs to end. I genuinely do understand.
Yeah.
But with everything that they gave us and they're gonna give us,
right?
It's gonna feel. I'm scared it's gonna be rushed.
And I can get that.
These stories endings are the way I think I would like it to be. Will I be a dude bro about it? I don't know. We'll see how satisfied it leaves me. But if I wasn't be satisfied to where I want to stick right at the end, then I'm gonna be upset. Like, you could have done this in 4 seasons.
Yeah,
you could have done this in 4 seasons.
And then the other part is everything they've shown us in this trailer is amazing and so much. But there has to be things they didn't show us to keep the hook per season. So there, again, Quinlan, things like that. Like, there's something else that they're just like, oh, Asajj. If they've already shown us that Asajj is going to be in there for the hype train, that means there's something else that's going to pop up that's going to blow us away.
That Tech is here. That Tech is still alive. That was the diversion. The only reason why they brought Ventress back was to have it be as a diversion. No, I'm kidding. They brought Ventress back because... Yes.
Do you think they're going to do... Because the problem is when this goes, we're going to have a vacuum for an animation. Do you think they're going to add another animation down the road? Or do you think they're just going to...
I would think if they would be smart to make one, if we go into this method of the path, that's the smartest one to do because it can be a serial. It can be like Clone Wars or like season 1 of Bad Batch, where it's just Quinlan, Asajj, Omega, or a versa of that group. Maybe Crosshair and Asajj do something, and then we get Quinlan and Omega on a mission, and then we get Asajj and Quinlan on a mission, and it's very smoochy. It would be very serial though. Like they could 100. We could get a beach episode. They're all just hanging out at the beach in the swimsuits doing the beach thing.
Hanging out in Pabu.
Yeah,
they're all happy and eating sushi.
That could be a thing. I think Star Wars, and especially the hardcore fan sounds cliche, but the people who do watch everything, we almost need that serial animation because it just helps fill out a new thing. And again, the path would be so removed from the Skywalker saga and from those movies, it's not going to interfere, it's not going to mess with anything, because none of the Jedi they save, I could 100% see Quinlan and Asajj being like, give us your lightsaber. What? But you're saving me. I don't care. Give us your lightsaber. Well, I'm a Jedi. I need this. No, you don't. If you carry this around, they'll kill you. Give us your lightsaber. You're not a Jedi anymore. There are millions of people in this universe that use the Force every single day that aren't Jedi. Do you want to die, or do you want to go save 5 people? What do you want? You can save 5 people with your Force powers and die, or you can go live. Those are your 2 options.
And the thing that sucks about this ending too is, I mean, the storytelling and just so much lore drops with, you think about the Clone Wars, with Rebels, and with this, there's so much information that gets dropped that aren't in the live action. Mm-hmm. People don't realize there's a lot of story being told in such short time.
Yeah. And again, the cloning, which is going to tie into somehow Palpatine return, which makes everyone lose their goddamn minds. So
it's
filling in that plot hole, and also filling in the what the fuck is this in Mando as well.
Yeah.
So,
which is very important, and that's one of the things that bugs me the most. Where everyone goes, "You shouldn't need supplemental content to make something good." I don't think you know what a franchise is, my friend. I love Lord of the Rings. You know what made it better? The Silmarillion.
I mean, this is the first time they've set something up. Redid it. Well, not redid. Mm-hmm. They've done it with their other content as well.
Yeah.
So let's try to bridge the gap to make episode 7 better, or the sequels a bit better. It's not new for Star Wars.
Right. I mean, the comics are filled with it. Books have been filled with it, and I love them all. But I really do think that these episodes, the Bad Batch is going to be, I mean, everything. It's going to be nothing but just like, like there's not going to be a moment where your BPM goes under like normal. It's just going to be ratcheted to 11 as much as fucking possible until maybe a quick little snippet here in the center where they're just like, oh god, we made it, and then things go back to being bad. And then at the end, when they're like, okay, those of us who have survived, count hands, raise your hand if you're still alive.
Who's not dead?
Who's not dead?
Well, Asajj better not raise her hand because she's already done that.
Yeah, I don't. Oh my god, if they kill her again, I'll fucking.
I think
don't bring her back and kill her.
Lose their fucking collective minds and actually break down Filoni's door and Brad Rou's door and Jennifer's door. Break it all down.
Let's bring her back so we can kill her again.
Dude, because I've loved Asajj. Especially once all of us who have read Dark Disciple and people who just like Asajj in general were like, not our girl, no! She did it. She did the thing. She realized her own fault. She was becoming who we all wanted and knew she could be. Her Jedi Master was in the background as a Force ghost, just kind of like, I told you so. I knew you had it in you, woo woo. So please let her and Quinlan just do their thing. Because in the High Republic, we've seen so many times now. The High Republic has now set this as a precedent that Star Wars can continue on with Rey's upcoming Jedi. Jedi leaving the Order and no longer calling themselves Jedi, still protecting people like Cal and Marin, but being in love with somebody. Having an attachment, but not being a Jedi anymore.
Kanan.
Yeah, Kanan. We've seen it so many times in Star Wars now. It can 100% exist. And again, that's why I always say I love it about the High Republic, because they show us no, a Jedi can be in love, can have children, can do all these things. It's just the attachment to that thing over the entire galaxy. That's what they don't want. And that's not hard to do for them.
Attachment's not always a bad thing.
Right, exactly. And this would be a good way to do it. Like, no, Quinlan and Asajj are very deeply in love. They have like little lovers' quarrels, like they would. They're very snappy at each other in the best way possible. Like, never rude, but just like they poke. They like to nudge one another. That's their attitudes. That's what Quinlan does to Obi-Wan every time he ever met him in Clone Wars. He just constantly jibe him. And Ventress, Ventress is one of the most sultry fighters I've ever seen. I can't believe that they like edited it. I heard someone say, I hope it's not true, but like in Disney Plus, the Clone Wars episode where Asajj pulls the clone trooper onto her saber and then kisses him, I guess they removed part of that.
It's still there.
It is? Okay. I heard someone say that. I was like, that sounds stupid. I don't want them to lose. Yeah, they will never lose that part of their character, and nor should they. But they can then still be saviors of the galaxy, keepers of the peace, Jedi. It's just as long as they know at the end of the day, the betterment of the galaxy outweighs this, which Asajj has already proven. She's like, yeah, I choose this thing, and it killed her. So now she can kind of be like, okay, we're still going to be together, but we're just going to focus on saving the people who might one day save the galaxy. Or, like I said earlier, they could just be like, no, the Jedi are dead. Stop it. Give me a lightsaber. Give me the robes. Here's a tunic and some blue pants. Go cut fish on Tatooine. Go to Corellia, make ships. Like, you're no longer a Jedi. Stop it. What if...
She goes back to being a witch.
What if Asajj and Quinlan and the Path and Omega help get Cal his job on the mining planet? And they're the ones that are like, Cal, we need you to understand you can't just be a Jedi. Like, they're the ones that instilled in him, you cannot use your powers. You cannot be a Jedi anymore.
You already see... there's already something going on anyways. Because we've already gotten... But we don't know that connection, but they already know they're doing that. At least Quinlan is. We don't know.
Yeah.
Because we assumed Asajj was dead, but...
But, now that we have all these people, like, can you imagine Quinlan and Ezra meeting? Oh my gosh. That would be stellar. Because I'm still waiting for that day when we get to see, because I swear to God, if we don't get Cal Kestis in live action, I'm a riot. I love him to death. And now we have another Night Sister back, who's not fully in, like, she's a Night Sister. She knows the ways. But we have, so Merrin and Asajj could, like, help with their lovers remake the Night Sisters. Because now the gene pool's a little bigger now. It's not just one dude and one Night Sister. Now at least we got another dude and another Night Sister.
Very bad gene pool, my friend.
Very bad gene pool. Yeah, it's very bad. It's tiny, but hey, you got to start somewhere.
You're starting to sound like how the Drow are in D&D. Yeah, the 2 sex.
But it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be crazy. I don't think there's gonna be a single episode that doesn't leave us like mouth agape, just like, what did I just witness on television? Are they safe? Are they okay? There's gonna be a good amount of cliffhangers in this. There's gonna be a lot of episodes ramping up. Cut. Next week.
You think with Asajj we're gonna get a Force Ghost Dooku?
I would just love to hear her, like, I don't know, like maybe just like a sneer or a what? I don't know. I don't think, you can't be a Force Ghost as a Sith, of course, because you just don't have that much harmony in you to become one with the Force.
He was a Jedi at one time. We could have switched back over at the last second.
Kind of went a little far. But hey, Anakin did it. I can't say no. But no one taught him. That's the other problem, of course. No one, we don't know of anyone going to his death at the last second and going, can you imagine Yoda appearing to Dooku right as he's dying, just to say, like, I can save you? Yoda would be like, you could fucking die. But no, it's gonna be an amazing series, guys. Season 3 of The Bad Batch is going to be off the wall. It's going to be stellar. There's going to be so much action. There's going to be so much loss and yet gain. So that's why I feel like this series is really going to bring us, is this nice like balance of, we're definitely going to be losing some things as we gain other things.
My coworker put it in the best way possible. This show is like an abusive relationship. They keep pushing and pulling. They hurt you, but then they get you back with one little thing of love, and then they hurt you again. Like,
yeah, I love the idea that it's like animation, so it's like, yeah, it's made for kids. Nothing, nothing's gonna traumatize you. Don't worry about it.
We need therapy after this.
As much as they always do say their animated series are kid friendly, I think Bad Batch is the least. Like, by a lot. It's gnarly. But anyway, guys.
The Bad Batch, not for kids.
Yeah, it's called the Bad Batch, not the some days it's kind of good batch. It's the Bad Batch. So anyway, though, everybody look forward. It was, February 22nd?
21st.
21st, that's right, 21st. 3-episode premiere. On a beautiful Wednesday, we're getting into it.
Sorry, real quick. Are they
3 episodes.
idiots doing the 12 a.m. drop, or are they being nice and doing the 6 p.m. drop?
I think they're doing the. They're no longer doing the midnight dropping.
Oh yeah, yeah.
God,
I think they stopped doing that for all their stuff.
Yeah, that always did suck. Waking up at like 2 a.m. to go watch Bat. Like I'll do it. I'll do it. That's why you have to. You have to, or you will get spoiled.
Yeah, I got spoiled for Kenobi on Pinterest. I say it on all my other socials that day. Fucking Pinterest. God.
Yeah, no, I love that, the 6 p.m. way. That's so much easier for everybody to watch it.
And then we can actually talk about it with people.
Yes.
Like,
and they need that. If nothing else, Disney Plus, that was smart on them to do as well, because then it does give that discussion around the dinner table, tweets flying, messages flying, Instagram posts.
TikTok, which I will be making.
Yep.
Is going to be on Hinge.
Yep, exactly.
More so than now.
So, before we leave, Young, if you'd like to, speaking of your TikTok, if you want to just promote yourself real quick, because again, we're going to have a lot of content, I'm sure, coming out.
Just LothalYungling. I haven't posted much because 1, the strikes, and then 2, the brain stopped producing good chemicals.
Don't worry, the Bad Batch is back. The chemicals are back, right?
The chemicals, my body had so much serotonin coursing through it after lunch. I was literally like that. My brain didn't know what to do.
Right.
My body did not know how to react. Like, I literally felt different. Okay, it's altered my brain chemistry. You
are awoken. You have ascended. But yes, it's going to be amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a fun time to batch off and just go nuts. It's always so much fun.
I spoke over anybody.
It's a podcast. We're excited people. If we're not excited people, we're not good nerds, okay? And we are some noise.
Well, I'm also a woman, so I don't actually watch this.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, you don't actually watch any of it. Yeah, you probably got that shirt from some dude and
yeah. I don't even really know what this is. Yeah. I'm like, it's weird. I don't get it. What is this?
So, because women belong in Star Wars, like fucking Asajj, that's why she's back, bitches. She's going to show you how much we belong. Do have an amazing rest of your evening. Bad Batch can't come soon enough. It's almost like Christmas all over again, everybody. Christmas in February. I can't wait. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have an amazing rest of your evening. And as always, may the Force serve you well.
And may the Force be with you.